Long time no see. Hey everybody, sorry I haven't made a video in a very long time, but the thing is, I am in college now, if you can't tell by the it's just a white wall, but if you can't tell by the difference behind me. You might be able to see some of my pictures that I have hanging up here. And don't mind the onesie, I didn't feel like wearing normal clothes today. So, I was waiting for something to tell you guys. I don't want to become like a story time kind of person, but I did want to wait until something interesting happened so that I can make a video on it for you. And, well, it didn't take long. We've been in college for about 2 months, I think, now. About 2 months almost. And within 3 weeks, we had a story. A very interesting story to tell you, and I'm going to tell you it now. You can probably tell by the title what this is going to be about, but I'm going to tell you the story of how we met our dorm neighbors. Now, just to give you a little bit of like backstory, our dorms are co-ed, so there is males and females on the same floor in the same building, all that kind of stuff. About by now 3 weeks ago, it was a Friday, and I was going to my last class. My roommate, who's also my best friend, Kaylee, you've met her a few times, had already gone to hers, so I was the last one in the room. And I reached around the door to lock it before I shut it, and as I'm going to walk out, I see a bottle cap on the floor. And at first I think, oh, it's just like garbage or something, like somebody, you know, just left it in the hallway. Then I realize there's writing on it. This is the bottle cap. I don't know if you can see exactly what it says, so I might have to do like a close-up later, but it says, "You're cute," with a smiley face on it. So first of all, it made me laugh, and I sat it on our counter and I said, "Kaylee, when you get back to the room, you have to look at this thing. It's so weird." So she gets back and she's like, "Oh my god, it's crazy." So I said, we should leave a post-it note outside the door asking who left it, and maybe they'll respond, you know? So it was a Friday, and we were both going home for the weekend. So we both left Friday night, go for the weekend, come back Sunday, we get back around the same time, and then we realize, hey, maybe there's a response on the door. So we get back to the door, and there's a post-it note that's a different color than the one that we left. And the one that we left originally said something like, oh god, like, hey, we just want to know who you're talking to, like which one of us was that meant for, and also who are you? And we addressed it to Bottle Cap Lever. So the note that we got is this one. And all it says is, "Directed to the hot one, dash bottle cap lever." So at this point we're like, okay, we know just about the same as we did a weekend ago. So we leave another note. We say, "Well, thanks, but that still isn't very clear. Are you talking to the redhead or the brunette?" And at this point, like, to be completely honest, I already knew they were talking about her, but we were just like, let's put another note out and see if they respond again. So we put redhead or brunette, and they responded again. Kaylee, brunette, Kaylee or Emily, which one is that? And they started to sign their notes with initials. So we're like, great, they're finally starting to leave like little clues about who they are, right? We leave another note and we're like, oh yeah, that's Kaylee. And by this point, it had been about a day since the first note was found, and we got a response. So we're thinking, they have to live in our building, right? Because, I mean, maybe it's a coincidence that like this person was just walking in our building twice in one day, but you know, they probably live here, right? So we left another note that said, "Do you live in our building? Since you won't tell us who you are, do you live in our building?" And this is when they started to respond in riddles. This note says, "Upstairs or down below? Where we're at, you'll never know." So this then turns into, okay, they're trying to, you know, play some kind of game here. So then we just kind of decide, all right, fair enough. Will you at least tell us what your names are? And this, like, these past 3 notes have been over the course of like a day and a half. So this is on the second day, and we say, will you at least tell us your names? If it's our names that you need, then on this floor you shall heed H and L. So we're like, alright. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about the wardrobe change, my dad actually came to visit me, so I was walking him around campus for a little bit. But back to the story. Okay. They basically left a note that said that they lived on our floor. And we didn't really want to go searching for them, so we kind of got a little bit mad, I guess. Not really, but just kind of frustrated. So I sent another note that said, please just tell us your names. And once again, we got another riddle, this note, that says, we are who we are, and we aren't who we aren't. H and L, with a little smiley face and a heart. How cute, right? So, at this point, we're trying really hard to find these people. So we think, okay, maybe they're telling the truth. So we go and look on our floor, and in our dorms there's an A side, like an A side hallway and a B side hallway on each floor, and we're on the A side. So we checked all of the A side. We're like, we know that there's nobody with those initials H and L in here, but we can't find, maybe it's on the other side. So we go and check the B side, nobody, nothing even close. We send out another thing. We're like, well, we can't find you. Are you sure you're on this floor? Like, we don't really believe you. And they say, good try, but finding our names was not a success. You ask if we live in this building. The answer is yes. So, now some of these, I can't remember exactly the order that we got them in, so those last two could have been switched. But either way, they kept saying that they lived in our building, and then they kept saying that they lived on our floor, but we still couldn't find them. So, then we decide, one night after dinner, let's take them up on the upstairs or down below thing, right? So, I decided that we were going to go down one floor into the terrace, which is like basically kind of the basement area, I guess, and go to the 2 floors above us and check each side of each floor. So we checked so many hallways trying to find this door with these names on it, and we found one. It was 1 floor above us on the B side. There is a door, a room, with 4 guys in it. One of the names was like Hunter or something like that, and 2 other guys' names. But the last name tag on the door had a laminated sign over it that said cake. Like, just cake. Like, I don't know. But we thought maybe, just maybe, that would be covering the name of somebody whose initial was L, right? So we're like, okay, we found them. And that door had post-it notes on the door that were this color, that were the same color we had been getting for like 2 days now. So we get back to the room, we write another note. We say, we think we found you. Are you the door with cake on it? Then, this is when they started to get a little bit brave, I guess. They were leaving notes more frequently and very quickly after we were putting them out. So we get this response. We do like cake for goodness sake, but that's not the decor that we keep on our door. So at this point, we're frustrated. And we've been noticing also that sometimes the handwriting changes. The handwriting on each note changes sometimes, and sometimes it looks a little feminine. Catching my drift here. So because we know that they're trying to talk to my friend Kaylee, we think, what if it's actually girls writing these notes? So I came up with a riddle for our next note. And because they had been avoiding our questions, I started the note with, answer our questions and stop being pricks. We just want to know, do y'all have dicks? Look, I was really proud of it when I came up with it because that's a really good idea on my part. I really wanted to respond with a note that was similar to the way they were talking to us. We wait for that, and we get the response, yes, we have dicks, and we'll show you a trick. Knock on our door, and we'll have our own clique. Now at this point, they're kind of like reaching for rhymes here, and the notes are slowly making less and less sense. So at this point, we're like, okay, we've gotten like 2 or 3 notes in the last hour. They have to be really close by, or they're just constantly walking up and down the hallway, which wouldn't be that big of a stretch because in our hall, we're the very first door. Like, it's the RA and then it's us. So a lot of people walk by our door every day. So that would be, not the weirdest thing that would ever happen, right? So we put out another note, and this is when we got a little, I don't want to say overboard, but we got a little inventive. I have a webcam, not just the one in my computer. I have a webcam that actually plugs into the computer and then can sit on top of it. I use it for my gaming channel. Kaylee said, hey, don't you have a webcam? And I said, yeah. I said, and it has like a recording software. Oh my god. And we had the same idea at the same time. We taped the webcam to our peephole on our door to try and catch them that way. Yeah. I had the picture on Snapchat. I don't know if I saved it. If I did, I'll like post it here, but if I don't, whatever. Basically, it's just a lot of tape holding this tiny little webcam onto our peephole, plugged into my computer that's recording everything that's coming through the webcam. Because at this point, we were determined to catch them. So we have it recording for like 10 minutes, but then we think, oh wait, like looking at the feedback that's coming through to my computer, it's really bright. Like for whatever reason, it was brightening the peephole so much that we wondered, like, well, if somebody even walked by, would you even be able to tell any features on them? Because that's how bright it was showing up on the laptop. So I said, here, you watch the camera. I'm gonna go out into the hallway and tell me if you can like tell that it's me. Like, can you see like noticeable features on me? So I still have that video. I got into the hallway and this happened.
Wait, I'm gonna do a test. I'm gonna go out into the hall and stop the video then, so we can see if we can actually like see features on me. No. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah? Oh. I thought you were gonna ask me if I could see features. Yes, we have dicks, and we'll show you a trick. Knock on our door, and we'll have our own click. That means we caught them on the street. No one is so loud. I was really there when I went out. It was like they just did it. That's so weird. They might stand like right there.
So we come back and I think, oh my god, we caught them, right? Actually, here's another clip from me after that.
I know that webcam idea was like the best. I know, I was so proud of myself. I was like, yas. Or you came up with the webcam, but I was like, yas, we're gonna do it. But
yeah, you like painted and set it off. Like I wouldn't know. I was on the door and like not even know.
I held it there. Okay, so it didn't work. They left a note, but they were out of the shot of the peephole. So that like 10 minutes of setup was nothing. But it was a good idea, but it didn't work. So I'm gonna put out another note, and I'm just gonna watch through the peephole because it only took about 10 minutes for them to put one up. So this is gonna make for a really good video later, telling this story. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. God damn it, I want to find them.
Okay, so we get that, and then we think, yeah, we caught them, right? Well, we didn't really like think about the fact that they probably weren't getting in the line of the peephole on purpose to keep themselves secret. I have another idea. I think, well, let's put another note out, just respond to the last thing they said, and, you know, I'll go wait for them down at the end of the hallway. Because at the end of each hallway, there's like a little common area kind of, and there's a chair and a sofa down there. So I decide that I'm gonna go sit at the end of the hallway and wait and try and catch them like in the act. So Kaylee goes, all right, well, I'm gonna get a shower. I said, all right, I'm gonna leave. And she goes, well, lock the door when you leave because I don't want to be in here with the door unlocked. And I said, okay. So I had to run back into my room to actually grab my keys for the door. So I grab the keys and I go to open the door, and as I open the door opens towards me. So as I go to open the door, I hear, shit, bam, 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 and I hear running. But because the door is so heavy, these doors in this dorm are ungodly heavy. Like, you have to body slam them to get them to open. It's ridiculous. But because the door is so heavy, it takes me a second to open it, and I don't see anybody. So by the time I get out there, they're gone. But they didn't have enough time to switch the notes yet, because I see ours is still on the door. So I walk down to the end of the hallway and I sit and I just play games on my phone for like 10 minutes. And the door right next to us opens. And I see this like tall, blonde, like lanky kid come out of the door. He like crouches down in like a spider position and reaches over, grabs our note, puts it in this hand, slaps theirs on the door, bolts back into their room. So at this point, I'm like ecstatic. I'm like, oh my god, I found them. I know who they are. I like run back to our room. I'm knocking on the bathroom. I'm like, Kaylee, I know who they are. I got their note, and it's in German. Not even gonna try to read it, but I did translate it when I got the note, and well, they basically said that their last names were the initials that they had been using this entire time, and that's how we weren't able to find them. So I thought, well, two can play that game, right? Kaylee and I both took 4 years of French in high school, so I responded in French, and I said, we know it's you next door. Very funny.
So we think we finally found out who it was. We think it's the people who live next door. They just left another note, and it was in German. And when I translated it, it said their last names, and those are the initials that have been left on our notes. So they left theirs in German. I'm assuming they're German majors or German minors. So I left Kaylee and I's note saying that we knew who they were in French because we took 4 years of French in high school. So they can Google Translate that just like I had to Google Translate theirs. So hopefully we've come to the end of this story because it's been going on for like 5 days now.
And the next note, another riddle, but now they're using their real names. And they said, in all seriousness, we meant you no harm. We hope you had fun. We meant you no alarm. Now that's where the rhymes kind of started to go real bad. But, so that's when they told us their real names. And we were like, well, now that we know your first and last name, we looked them up on Facebook. And they're both, like, they're both really hot. So we got so lucky, dude. And so we friend them on Facebook, and we send another note that's like, you know, we should get dinner sometime, like we should get dinner tomorrow, we should hang out or something, we should meet each other. And they stopped using riddles, and with the note where they said their real names, they left 2 Oreos on a paper towel for us. And they did this twice. The first time we didn't trust it, so we threw them out. Which you should always do. Never trust anything that is like somebody you've never met gives you, okay? But the second time we're like, well, they probably wouldn't poison them twice in a row, right? So we ate them. And they were stale as hell. Like really stale, like gross. So that happens, and you know, we say we should meet up. And they say, until we meet, good night. Enjoy the Oreos, there's more where that came from, smiley face. So that was pretty much the end of the night. And that was, looking at my calendar, about 2 Tuesdays ago. And so at that point, it's like 11:30 at night. Kaylee's going to bed. I'm about to, like, you know, lay down. But then I'm like, well, I might as well just leave a last note, right? So I leave a note. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I don't have high self-esteem at all. It's not, you know, it's not the best. And I have a lot of anxiety. I have social anxiety. I think I actually have an anxiety disorder, to be honest. But, so I don't really think very highly of myself, and I know I'm not saying that to, like, bring attention to myself or anything. I just want to be honest with you, because if any of you feel like that, I want you to know that there's somebody else who feels the same way. So I leave a note that says, even though you were talking to Kaylee, even though she was the one that you found attractive in the beginning, I really had fun trying to figure out who you guys were, and this turned out to be like a really fun adventure for all of us. And they responded with, now that we know what both of you look like, you're both beautiful. Thanks for the friend requests. And they had accepted our friend request by then, and that just kind of, I don't know, it was nice, because you don't get that a lot. This is advice to anybody who's still in high school. Like, once you get out of high school, life gets so much better. Everybody is so much nicer. Like, something like that would have never been spoken in high school, you know? Like, they would have just, you know what it's like. So it was really nice, and we went to dinner with them the next night, and they were both really, really cool people. They're just really nice, genuine people. Kind of awkward, which is good because we're kind of awkward also. But we just had a really nice time. We hung out with them for like 2-3 hours, just talking and laughing and meeting each other for the first time. So that is the exciting story of how we met our neighbors in college. I'm sorry this took so long for me to make because I just have not had time to sit down and talk to you, and I missed you, and I want to keep doing this. Anytime that I have time, I'm going to keep making videos. I have a few ideas that I want to do. But that's like the only exciting story that's happened so far, but I know it's just getting started, and I know that a lot of things are going to start happening soon, but I hope you guys enjoyed that little story time. If I come up with anything else, I'll make more, but I don't want to become like a story time kind of teller, you know, because I don't know, I don't have that many good stories, and I'm not really that great of a storyteller, but I just really wanted to tell you guys that because I thought it was interesting, and I've told that whole experience to at least like 6 people by now, and I thought, well, why not tell you people, you lovely internet friends that I have. So thank you guys so much for watching that. I'm sorry for how awkward this is. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button down below. Also leave me a comment letting me know what you guys want to see next time. Like this, share it with your friends, share it to your mom, I don't know. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you whenever I make another video.